News Decade in Review. This is Zhou Pan.
This is Shichen Liu. Happy New Year's Eve 1990.
Tonight we are going to take a look at this past decade, taking a glimpse at some of the outstanding accomplishments, phenomenal music, ingenious inventions, and the long-awaited changes the decade highlighted.
Today's special episode will guide us through the highlights of what happened to our nation over the past 10 years. The decade started off with a flourish when many nations boycotted the 1980 Summer Olympics. Back to July 1980, on this date, the Olympics were held in Moscow, Russia. Because of tension caused by the Cold War, relations between the Soviet Union and the United States have deteriorated considerably. The issue of Russia's invasion of Afghanistan created increased distrust between the superpowers. The United States and Soviet Union could not work out a fair plan on global security. The United States therefore silently protested the Soviet Union and boycotted the Olympics. Let's take a look at a new clip of the scenes at those controversial summer games.
This is reporter Yue Zhu. I'm currently in the Grand Arena of the Central Lenin Stadium in Moscow, Russia. This is also the place with thousands of athletes around the world will compete together. As you can see, all of the athletes are doing their final preparation for the game. We have the honor of interviewing one of the athletes about the issues that United States boycotted the 1980 Olympics. Hi, I'm reporter Yue Zhu from FOB News. How's it going?
I am Tony Cedra.
I saw you doing some preparation earlier. Are you one of the athletes who will attend the Olympics?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Cedra, what country are you from?
I'm one of the German athletics.
What's your opinion about the U.S. government's decision to boycott the Olympics game?
I think it's a bad decision. The United States has some best athletics in the world. The U.S. government threatened to take away the passports of U.S. athletics if they attend the Olympics, since the Olympics are only held every 4 years. It's a violation of athletics rights. Even though the United Athletics not attending the game is a good thing for their country, but still for some political nonsense, it's not a good thing.
Well, something happened because of these decisions. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think the relation between two countries will become worse and worse. The athletic of United States won't be happy because they prepare for the Olympics for 4 years, and it's possible that the game will be their final chance to get a medal. And it's 4 years really long time for athletics.
Wish you the very best in the game. This is reporter Yue Zhu from FOB News. Back to you in the studio.
Later in 1980, more sad news hit the global scene with news of John Lennon's untimely death. On December 8, 1980, John Lennon, a member and co-founder of the popular band The Beatles, was shot and was pronounced dead on arrival at Roosevelt Hospital. Shortly after the local announcement, millions of mourners gathered at Roosevelt hotels and in front of the Coda to pay their respects to Lennon. We have video of our reporter Chao Fan at the scene. Let's get an idea of what it's really like when the tragic news hit.
Hi, this is reporter Chao Fan Jian from FOB News, and here we have a large crowd of people here to pay respect to the assassination of John Lennon. Okay, let's interview one of the mourners in the nearby. Sir, there seems to be a large crowd of people here trying to pay respect to the death of John Lennon. Are you here for the same reason as the others?
Yes. I was always a big fan of Beatles. I won't believe that someone will actually shoot Lennon because he's such a nice person and artist.
What is your theory behind the assassination?
I can't really think of a reason why John Lennon was shot. I mean, why would someone do that?
Alright, thank you for your time with us, sir. The crowd is growing in numbers. We should get out here before we get trampled by the large crowd. Okay, this is Chao Fan Jiang from FOB News. Back to the studio.
Turning to more positive news from the early years of the decade, let's explore the amazing introduction of the space shuttle. STS-1 was the first orbital space flight of NASA's Space Shuttle program. The first orbiter, Columbia, launched on 12 April 1981 and returned on the 14 April, 54.5 hours later, having orbited the Earth 37 times. Columbia's carried a crew of 2 mission commanders, John W. Young and pilot Robert L. Crippen.
Hi, this is reporter William Tan. Here I am at Mission Control, where the most sophisticated human-carrying spacecraft ever built was launched. Let's interview one of the mission commander, John Young. Hi, Mr. Young. What do you think about this launch? Do you think this launch was successful?
Oh, this launch is very successful. It means a lot to the future generations because from now on we don't have to rebuild each shuttle on every launch, and it is a really amazing thing that we did. To be honest, it means a lot to all of us.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Yang. Let's continue our interview with one of the viewers of this launch. Hi, this is reporter William Tan from FBA. As a viewer, as an American, what do you think about these launches?
Oh, the launch is very successful. And I'm excited because I'm a big fan of the space shuttle. The structure, the speed of it, I just love it so much.
Okay, thank you. The Space Shuttle Columbia was launched from Florida, becoming the first spacecraft to travel into space. This development of spacecraft cost nearly $10 billion and took nearly a decade. Thank you. Back to you guys in the studio.
Continuing some more positive pieces of news from the early 80s, let's look at one of America's most gifted musicians. On November 30, 1982, Michael Jackson's sixth album, Thriller, was released by Epic Records as the follow-up to Jackson's critically and commercially successful 1979 album, Off the Wall. Thriller enabled Jackson to break down racial barriers in pop music via his appearances on MTV and meeting with President of the United States, Ronald Reagan, at the White House. The album was one of the first to use music videos as successful promotional tools. The videos for Thriller, Billie Jean, and Beat It received regular rotation on MTV. Let's turn to our outside reporter who is at the music shop demonstrating the same passion for Michael Jackson's music today as people had in 1982.
Hi, this is reporter William Tan. Here I am at Hollywood Music on Sunset Boulevard. Michael Jackson's new song just came out. Let's interview a buyer. Hi, sir. This is reporter William Tan from FOB News. What is your opinion of Michael Jackson's new album?
This album is MJ's best-selling album of all time. Biggest album. MJ's original dance was perfectly combined with his music. I'm very impressive buying this from my daughter.
How appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Wow, I see. MJ did really beat it. Michael Jackson called himself the king of pop. As Joe mentioned that he broke down the racial barrier in the music industry by releasing this amazing album with his outstanding and creative music and dance talents. Thank you. This is reporter William Tan. Back to you guys in the studio.
Are you in love with MJ's music? If so, why don't you get a Walkman? And you can have Billie Jean around you wherever you go. It's portable and fashionable and just amazing. Sing along with our Walkman, otherwise you are no big fan of Mr. Jackson. Call us now at 626-666-6666 and buy a Walkman at a special price of $149.99 only right now.
Besides Michael Jackson's music, all kinds of rock and roll became popular. On December 30, 1982, a 3-day rock and roll concert will start at Champion Center and it will be at 8 p.m. Rock and roll bring a new music century. The most young are really excited about this concert. Let us shift the camera to our outside reporter, Tony Zhang.
Hi, this is reporter Tony Dang. Here I'm at a pop music concert. There's only a few hours until the concert starts. Let's ask the audience if they have any opinion or thoughts about this concert. Hi, young lady. What's your opinion about this concert?
We are so excited about the concert, and we are waiting for this concert for 2 years, and now finally.
Okay, thank you. Thank you to this young lady. Now let's talk to the gentleman over here. Hi, this is Tony Zhang from the FOB News. What's your opinion of the rock and roll? Do you think it's the greatest one past few years?
I love rock and roll. This is the best one I have ever seen. I'm a big fan of this.
Okay, do you think people will stay here for 3 days for the concert?
Yes, of course, because if they are real friends, they will stay here for 3 days. Because I will.
Wow, I see. Let's hope they will have a safe and wonderful concert. Thank you. This is Tony Zhang from FOB News. Back you guys to the studio.
Shichen, are you familiar with the Windows?
Windows? What Windows? The windows in my 3-bedroom or my car?
No, I mean the Microsoft Windows system introduced on November 20, 1985. In June 1980, Gates and Island hired Gates' former Harvard classmate Steve Ballmer to help run the company. The next month, IBM approaches Microsoft about a project code named Chess. In response, Microsoft focuses on a new operating system, the software that manages or runs the computer hardware and also serves to bridge the gap between the computer hardware and programs, such as a word processor. On November 20, 1985, the first version Windows operating system released by Bill Gates as the first graphical operating system in the world.
Hi, this is reporter Tony Ding. Here, I'm at the electronic market. The Windows operating system brings people here, and those customers seem willing to wait for an hour in order to try new technology. Let's interview a customer buying the Windows operating system. Hi, ma'am. This is Tony Ding, reporter from FOB News.
Hi, I'm Miss Yin.
Miss Yin, how do you think of the newly released operating system?
I don't really know much about this system, but I heard this is a technology breakthrough. My friend recommended to use it because it can operate my computer easily and it also generates more impressive graphic output.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Let's talk to the gentleman over here. Hi, this is Tony Zhang from FOB News. Are you in charge of electronic field?
Yes, I personally is using Windows as operating system. According to some citrus, Microsoft came to dominate the world personal computer market with over 90% market sharing, overtaking Mac, and which has been introduced in 1984. Many things we took to granted just weren't possible back then.
Wow, I see. Microsoft has taken an important step in electronic field. Also, I mentioned this is the first graphical operating system in the world. I wish Microsoft would change the world within steps. Thank you. This is reporter Tony Ding. Back you guys into the studio.
Have trouble dealing with your document and file? Have a hard time to figuring out your presentation? Cannot find an easier way to keep track of your work? Want to play some sneaky games on your computer at work time? Well, our FOB brand computer could help. Call 626-666-6666 to buy an unbelievable personal computer with the newly released Microsoft Windows system right now. What are you waiting for? Get it now. A promotional price of only $666.
In the late half of the decade, documents were signed by President Ronald Reagan concerning about income tax. On October 22, 1986, Ronald Reagan signed the Tax Reform Act of 1986 on South Lawn. The Tax Reform Act enabled to simplify the income tax code, broaden the tax base, and eliminate any tax shelters. The Tax Reform Act was given impetus by the detailed tax simplification proposal from President Reagan's Treasury Department, and was designed to be tax revenue neutral because Reagan stated that he would veto any bill that was not. As you reported, this historic change in the nation's tax code would pass the House, and let's review what was actually going on out there.
Hi, this is reporter Yu Yin. Here I am at South Lawn, and President Ronald Reagan will be here to sign the Tax Reform Act. And this act will be simplify the income tax code. And let us see what do the American citizens think about this new change. Hi, sir. What do you think about this new tax code? And do you think it is beneficial or not?
Well, for my personal view, I think it's beneficial because it lowers the tax rate, which can help me save money for my kids' education. The last tax cut actually it's actually hurting us because it have a high tax rate and it bias towards the saving and investments. So I'm actually on the side with the new tax code reform.
Okay, thank you for your participation.
My pleasure.
As you can see, the new Tax Reform Act has a really freeze between the American citizens, and President Ronald Reagan is starting his speech now.
If I sign this bill into law, America will have the most marginal tax rates and the most modern tax code among major industrialized nations. Thank you.
Now President Reagan is starting signing his document. This is Yu Yin back to the studio.
Approaching the end of this decade, one significant political change occurred affecting the whole appearance of the world. The Berlin Wall stood from 1961 to 1989. Separated democratic West Berlin, considered part of West Germany, from communist-controlled East Berlin and from the rest of East Germany. The demolition of the wall started on November 9, 1989, and continued for days and weeks. The fall of the Berlin Wall represents the end of the Cold War. Meanwhile, it stands for a new era of peace in Europe and between the United States and Russia. Now, let's review this event with our side reporter Yi-Wei. At the scene, interviewed the Secretary of the State, Jim Baker.
Hi, I'm reporter Yi-Wei Zhu. I'm here today with the Secretary of State, Mr. James Baker. Hi, Mr. Baker. I'm a reporter Yi-Wei Zhu from FOB News. Have you seen the ruins of the Berlin Wall?
Yes, I went to the site last week.
What do you think the collapse of the Berlin Wall is significant to our nation?
The failure of Berlin is to disrupt NATO and weaken the American influence in West Germany, which is the key of the balanced power in Europe. The Berlin Wall was the flashpoint of Berlin crisis, and the Berlin crisis was the flashpoint of the Cold War.
Today, December 31st, 1989, we have gone through the whole decade of the 1980s and witnessed all the amazing moments of the 10 years together. It was a decade different from any other decade before, with advances in technologies, stimulating innovations in pop culture, the rise of populist conservative movement, huge growth in population, and the Reagan Revolution.
The 80s was a remarkable and memorable decade. It is my pleasure to hear together with you going over the highlights of the past 10 years.
This is Zhou Pan.
And this is Xuchen Liu.
Thank you and best wishes for Happy New Year and another amazing decade.
Here we are approaching the last 5 seconds of the 80s. Ready to count down with me? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.